What is going on, you guys? Brandon here, aka Brawadis, and right now I'm bringing you my second video on my NBA channel for today. I uploaded a vlog on my main channel. I uploaded the Golden State Warriors versus Portland Trailblazers playoff series prediction just a little while ago on my NBA one. So if you didn't get a chance to go check that out, go check it out. And right now I'm bringing you guys my prediction slash preview for the San Antonio Spurs versus Memphis Grizzlies. Now this is the 2-7 matchup in the Western Conference. When you see this matchup, when you look at the names Spurs and Grizzlies, you're kind of like, I'll pass. I don't really want to watch these games. You know, a lot of defense involved. Two very physical, very slow, defensive-minded teams going at it. Doesn't really catch the eye. It doesn't really pop out, such as the Rockets versus Thunder. That's a lot of three-pointers. You know, Russell Westbrook versus James Harden. But this matchup is something I want to see. I don't know about you guys, but the Grizzlies and Spurs always play each other well. It's just something about the two teams, the grit, the grind. They know how to play each other. So I'm gonna start off by saying, what's new? San Antonio, another great season. I mean, is this team ever gonna slow down? Is this it just makes no sense. I don't know how they do it, but obviously they have my respect, and I'm sure they have respect from everybody around the league. It seems like 100 years straight of making the playoffs. So hats off to the San Antonio Spurs. Another great season. And then we look at the Memphis Grizzlies, who, although they finished 7th place, they didn't have a bad season at all. They got two players who really stand out, Mike Conley and Marc Gasol. Yes, Mike Conley might be a little overpaid, but there's no denying he's a really, really good player and a borderline all-star. He could shoot the three, he could defend really well, he could pass. And then you have Marc Gasol, who he added that three-point shot to his repertoire this season. And when I say he added it, I don't mean, he kind of worked on it and threw up a couple threes. No, he made over 100 three-pointers this season. That's scary. If you've watched Marc Gasol throughout his career, he's been good at everything he does, but he hasn't been able to shoot the three. Now that he added the three-point shot, wow, I don't know. He's a really, really good player. And then you look at Chandler Parsons, who should have been their third best player. He should have been that kind of the difference maker, maybe take them to the next step, but he's just, I don't even think I have to explain myself. Chandler Parsons has been a disappointment, overpaid, just not being able to stay healthy, and even when he is healthy, just has not done much. Even I've talked to a lot of Grizzlies fans who hate that signing. A lot of Grizzlies fans who support every player on the team, but for him, they're kind of like, I could care less. But anyway, this is a playoff series prediction video, so let me get into it. These two teams actually split the season series 2-2. Each team beat each other 2 times, which is surprising because you have the Spurs at over 60 wins, and then you have Memphis, who didn't even win 50 games, so you'd figure the Spurs would have beat them more than 2 times, but no, like I said earlier in this video, these two teams just know how to play each other. They know how to go at one another, and oh, don't forget to mention, this is the Gasol brothers battle. This is the first time that the Gasol brothers have faced off against each other in a playoff series. Marc Gasol obviously against Pau Gasol. Pau's kind of on the downside of his career, whereas Marc is right in his prime. So this should be interesting because a couple years ago, Pau would dominate Marc. He would destroy Marc, but now it's going to be the other way around. Marc has that quicker step over Pau right now. So that's going to be interesting to watch. Now, where I think Memphis is going to get hurt in this series, Tony Allen is out. I mean, it's not a for sure answer that he's out for the whole series, but I just read an article that Memphis is planning to play this series, whether it goes 4, 5, 6, or 7 games, all without Tony Allen. So if he does come back, that would be like a little surprise, but they're actually planning on him missing the whole series. And if you're just a stat sheet looker, if you don't watch the games, but you just look at how many points a player had, and that you wouldn't notice how big of a difference Tony Allen makes. What he does doesn't show up on the stat sheet. He's like PJ Tucker. He hustles, he defends, and he just gives it all out there. So they're going to miss Tony Allen, especially because Chandler Parsons has not been the player they thought he would be when they signed him. So if you heard before the season Tony Allen would miss time, you would say, oh, just slot Chandler Parsons in his spot and, it'll be fine. No, Parsons has not been that guy for whatever reason. You could blame it on injuries, but like I said, even when he's healthy, he just has not shown much. He has not shown much. Mike Conley, a really, really good player. I feel he's underrated. Marc Gasol, one of the best big men in the league. They have a solid bench. I think they need a little more on that bench. They're not as deep as San Antonio. San Antonio goes 12 deep. You have some teams that go 10 deep, and that's impressive. San Antonio goes 12 or 13 deep. They just find players, whether it's overseas, whether they're undrafted, whether it's late in the first round or second round. They just know what they're doing. And Memphis kind of has a weak bench compared to San Antonio. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing that hurts Memphis. Because with that first unit, they could sort of compete with San Antonio. You know, you have Conley, you have Gasol, and Zebo does come off their bench, but he plays starter minutes. So they could go up against, you know, LaMarcus and Kawhi. Even Tony Parker has lost a step. But then you bring in the bench, whereas the Spurs with Patty Mills, among others, and Memphis is kind of Troy Daniels. Nah, guys, but to make my prediction, yes, I know they split the season series 2-2. I know I mentioned how they play each other really, really close. I'm going to go Spurs in 5. I know that might be a little surprising because some people might see the series going 6 or 7. And I'm not going to lie, if it does go 6, I wouldn't be surprised because I could see Memphis pulling 2 games out. But all in all, my final prediction, I think Memphis only takes out San Antonio 1 time. And San Antonio closes this out in 5 on their home court. It's just San Antonio come playoff time are a much different team. And I think after last season, because last season you saw what happened. They were out early. Second round exit against OKC. I think Pop and Kawhi and the rest of the Spurs team have been waiting and counting down for the moment to get back into the playoffs. Because last season they had hopes of going to the championship. Not only did they not go to the championship, they didn't even make it to the Western Conference Finals. So I think San Antonio has been itching to get back to the playoffs. And it sucks for Memphis that they had to be their opponent, because I do think if Memphis got that 6th seed or 5th seed, that they have a chance to take down their first round opponent. But it just so happens that they matched up with the Spurs, and I don't think that's going to happen. Kawhi Leonard, MVP candidate. He's been great. I can't believe I haven't mentioned him this whole video. It's because I just assume everybody knows how good he's been. But some people don't see what he does. He is underrated. He plays defense. He grabs boards. He could shoot the 3. He could take over games. That's the biggest thing he was missing when he was younger. Everybody knew he could be, you know, a spot-up shooter. He could defend really well. But now this season, he has shown that he could take over games. Oh, the Spurs are down by 10 in the 4th. Give Kawhi the ball. Give Kawhi the ball and let him take over. That's something he didn't have before. And I think it's crazy to watch him grow. He is a tremendous player, and he's going to be the biggest reason why the Spurs close the series out in 5. LaMarcus Aldridge obviously been a little more inconsistent this season than he has in years past. There's been some rumors that he wanted out of San Antonio, but those were shut down really fast. So I don't know what's going on with him. But nonetheless, he's still a really, really good power forward. Not mentioned among the top power forwards like he was last year and the year before, but he's still up there. He's still a really good power forward. They also have Pau Gasol. Patty Mills. He's been better than Tony Parker this season. So Tony Parker does start, but if he struggles, they could throw in Patty Mills and they won't lose a step. Like I said, if you're into offensive firepower, run the ball, fast break, don't even watch one game of the series. Please don't. But if you're into defense and, you know, slow-paced, close games, then this is a series for you, because trust me, I feel like every game is going to be close. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Memphis takes 2 games. So I see it going 5 or 6. I'm going to stick with 5, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it go 6. I just don't think there's any way it goes 7. And I also don't think there's any way Memphis wins. I also don't see any way the Spurs sweep them. This would be a different story if San Antonio got what they wanted last year. But I'm basing this series heavily off San Antonio was embarrassed last season. Especially because they killed OKC in game 1. So everybody thought, you know, they're going to win that series. But instead, OKC comes off and kind of shakes them off with not that much issue, not that much problem. They kind of just, okay, this San Antonio, nah, we're not scared. So San Antonio, they don't take that. They don't take shit from anybody. So I feel like they're coming into this postseason with a vengeance. I feel like they've rested a lot of guys. They have spread minutes out. Like I said, some teams go 10 deep. San Antonio has gone 12 or 13 deep. So they've got their rest. Players aren't tired. Ginobili's fucking 40 years old. I don't know what that has to do with what I was saying, but I just wanted to throw that out there. He is 40 years old and he's still playing. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this kind of a prediction preview for the Spurs and Grizzlies series. Like I said, I'm going to be doing one of these for every single playoff series. It's tough. Pretty much haven't left my room all day today, but I promise you guys I'll get this done, so that's what I'm doing. On a side note, Chandler Parsons, why? Why would you do this to Memphis? They signed you with hopes of you taking them to the next level, you know, taking them from a 5-6 seed to a 3-4 seed. Instead, we don't need to get into that. Everybody who watches basketball knows what Chandler Parsons did or didn't do this season. You can't blame it all on injury, because even when healthy, he has struggled. And when I say struggled, he has been bad. He's been a very, very bad player. So Memphis just has to bank on Zebo coming up huge off the bench, Marc Gasol averaging almost 30 a game, Mike Conley averaging 25 and 10. I don't know. It's going to be tough. I'm going Spurs in 5. I need to end this video because I need to start doing my other ones. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much also for showing love to my NBA channel, because I don't upload on here too often. So the fact that you guys still watch, you guys still support, and you guys still show me so much love on this channel is crazy, and I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I love you guys all. Peace, guys.